Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network tonight. Live coverage of the 191 Motorsports Gen 6 Series as we are back here at Atlanta. But this time, well, since we've been here last time, they get in here real quick. They've repaved this thing. It's a brand new track. It's still the same layout, but just a little bit fresher, a little bit more super speedway-esque. Even though it's only a 1.5 mile track here, it is very fast, and it is pretty much flat out the entire way. So we'll see a lot of probably pack racing here tonight, but back racing on a 1.5 mile speedway is not the same as a 2.5 mile an hour speedway. It's going to be very tricky to keep everything under wraps here. Last time we were here at the older version of Atlanta, it was Roger Saucier getting the win, much to the like of Mr. West out there. And we'll see if he's watching again to see if Saucier can get another one here tonight. But it should be a good one out here tonight. The field is out there qualifying right there right now, and we'll get our pre-race reporter in here in a minute, which is going to be Paul Helms tonight. But before we do, introduce ourselves. Carl Ham, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, back here at the very fast EchoPark.
Yeah, it's fast, smooth. It's at night. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It definitely is not, Daytona or Talladega. It's, well, a lot smoother. They're just obviously, I've seen, and I was reading the Discord chat there, remind the drivers to stay up above the white and red line there, so no going down the apron to make passes unless you need to go down there for for avoidance or something like that. But it also the pit entry is in a unique spot too. It's off of it's going into 3 and not coming off of 4.
Yeah, it's a little bit funky here with the new layout, but again, under the lights and the new pavement should be plenty fast here. Last time out at Dover Motor Speedway, we've seen Levi Poland get his second win of the season, and it helped him cut that lead from the point standings from 24 down to 19. So getting a little bit closer there. Michael Casey still on top of the boards. Levi Poland in second, 19 points back. Then Bradley Worley, Justin Spengler, Billy Rickett for your top 5, with Matthew Scruffy Jordan, Daniel Pinkston, Travis Noble, Richard Hartman, and Zane Bierman for your top 10. We'll see if we get a different winner here tonight. We had 5 different winners through the first 5 races before Levi Poland finally cracked through on race number 6 to be the first multi-race winner here this season. But looks like, I believe, Mr. Helms, yep, Mr. Helms is done. So we'll go ahead and bring in the driver of the 64. That is Paul Helms. Paul, welcome to the booth here tonight. Welcome to the freshly paved EchoPark Speedway as well. You picked this one to come up here and talk to us. So what makes EchoPark, kind of stand out for you?
Well, I mean, it kind of runs like Charlotte in my mind. I've always ran it, stuff to, hang on a second, yeah. It's close to the home. So I like Atlanta. I always liked Atlanta. It's fast. It used to be bumpy. Now that it runs more like a speedway, it's just a lot more fun.
So you say it's close to home. I got to ask, do you like the new quad oval layout, or do you miss the days of the oval at Atlanta?
Oval. I don't like.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. There's so many ovals that almost seem like there's not. Or should they? There's less ovals. I feel like nowadays. In the mix here, a lot of them is tri-ovals, quad ovals. So yeah, I was kind of sad once the. I mean, it was years and years ago at this point, but I mean, for a while that was, I thought, a really fun track. Yeah,
it definitely was.
Well, listen, we're gearing up for race number 7 here tonight, and taking a look at where you're sitting in the point standings here so far. I know you're back there a little bit, back there in 20th, but maybe a little resurgence here with a little home cooking here at EchoPark.
I hope so. It's been a rough turn back. I had a lot of work in October and stuff for Halloween and everything. So getting back into the groove of things and then suffering through all the new meatballs that we seem to be getting. I don't quite understand that.
It's a plethora this season. It's been
I got my garlic bread ready tonight.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, listen, good luck to you out there, and if we get some cautions, we'll try and maybe bring you back up here, see how the other race is going for you. But definitely, whether you're hungry or not, avoid those meatballs here tonight. And before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Oh, all the guys here at 191. I mean, everybody that shows up every week, everybody that shows up and practices and races and puts time and effort into it. You know, we've all been doing this for a while, and it's nice to have a good group of guys that just want to get out here and have some fun.
Yeah, it definitely looks like you guys have fun every week, and we do too. So good luck out there. Hopefully, we get to talk to you at a good spot after the race here.
I hope so. It'd be nice.
All right, buddy. Good luck out there. That is the 64 of Paul Helms. As Jimmy, we're done with qualifying. We're getting this thing gridded up. Why don't you give us a rundown of that starting order here tonight?
Quick rundown of tonight's starting order is going to be Jason Crispin out front at number 98, alongside with last week's winner, Levi Poland. Then we have Justin Spengler and Zane Bierman out there for row number 2. Row number 3, Tony Brennan with Mike Casey, and then that number 6, as he's got a bounty on his head out there, according to the chat. And then you have Matthew Jordan and Nolan Potter out there in row number 4, Douglas Ivey and Matthew Radford in row number 5, Chris Perry with Paul Helms back there in row number 6, Daniel Pinkston, Bradley Worley in row number 7, row number 8 made up of Scott Henderson and Scott Matthews, row number 9, Travis Noble with Billy Rickett. With no times in, starting up at that back row, but still 19 drivers. The field slowly growing here at 19 Motorsports, and each and every week seems to be getting an extra person out there. Obviously, you do have Greg Thielsen out there as well, so I always say a shout out to Greg for performing those steward duties up there and throwing in flags.
Looks like we got the CRA Nation out there in full force as well. Certainly a shout out to everyone out there already in the chat. And I know this is definitely one of the more lively chats that we have on CRN. So we want to thank you for all that. And already looks like Renee maybe didn't get her book last week for Michael Casey. So hopefully Michael can get the top spot for a little birthday. So happy birthday wishes there from the CRN Nation to you out there, Renee. And maybe Michael can finally deliver this week and get his second win and stretch that points lead, but it's going to be tough, and he's got a lot of competition, as it seems like the competition ramps up more and more every week. We'll see if that 98 at Jason Crispin can do well as well. I believe it was the last time we were here at Auto Club is where we seen the 98 have a good chance at the win. I'm not sure if it was there at Kentucky, but either way, it was a good run for the 98. We'll see what he can do starting up there on the pole here tonight, but we're set for 125 laps under the lights with these beautiful looking cars out here, the Gen 6 cars. Got to keep them beautiful though, because the talk of the season, and even here talking to Paul Helms, there is the meatballs. These things damage and damage hard very, very quickly. You brush that wall a little bit, it doesn't matter. I mean, you look at it the wrong way, and it's going to give you meatball. But hopefully the drivers can keep it nice and clean. Pace car is in. It's in control here of Barney for the start, and we are racing here at EchoPark.
Yeah, where they go underneath the lights here at EchoPark, or AKA Atlanta, as Jason Crispin leads the field down on the inside, heading down into turn number 1, 2 by 2, all the way back to the field as they figure out how these cars are going to act for the night, and I'm interested to see how long they can go on one tank of fuel.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to the fact that this is now called EchoPark Speedway. It was kind of the same deal when, hold that thought.
Oh,
We're going to get big wreck, and I'm sure we're going to get some meatballs out of this one. There were quite a few involved here. Looks like Matthew Radford, Travis Noble. I did see, I think, Paul Helms also get involved. So, yeah, it looks like Bradley Worley, Paul Helms, and Matthew Radford already here on lap number 2 going to walk away with a meatball. And it's, unfortunately, I'm afraid for these drivers here tonight, and it has nothing to do with, skill or no skill. This is a very fast track, and I know you kind of have 3 grooves here tonight, but it can be claustrophobic even in 2 wide situations when you're heading into these corners, and it just takes one little bobble from somebody, whether it's in front of you, behind you, side of you, and you get up into that wall you see right there. We'll take a look back and see what caused this thing. But I mean, it's so easy to get into a quick wreck, and any kind of wreck here anymore is a meatball. So it sucks for these drivers. But you see 3-4 cars. Looks like Daniel Pinkston getting involved in this one, as well as the 7 maybe catching a little piece there at the end. the 7/13, I should say, of Scott Matthews. One day we'll get him to change his number to the correct number on there.
I'm gonna start docking you 5 points and penalty points.
Yep, we'll have to find a way to put like a little blurry on his car. If we can censor his car until he corrects the number.
I know how to fix that, Mike.
Exactly.
Definitely, obviously a tough track here. It's not the way some of these drivers want to start out, and obviously burning some of them meatball flags are to go here. But we're gonna line them up again, Carl. We're gonna try it another time here, as we got plenty of racing here on dock. 125 laps at about 30 seconds a lap. You're looking at about an hour. So, and that's green flag running. Plus the pit stops and whatnot. But kind of getting out there right now. Still see Bradley Worley with a meatball flag. So I don't know if he towed and he's still waiting, or he forgot to check the box.
He towed. He jumped into the pits, unfortunately, so it's going to be a little bit for him, but still plenty of time. One or two cautions, you can maybe get back out there and get up and play here. But getting back to what I was mentioning, getting used to, say, an EchoPark Speedway instead of Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was kind of the same thing when Gateway changed it to worldwide technology, and I feel like Laguna Seca, WeatherTech, Laguna Seca, you got it was Charlotte, then it was Lowe's Motor Speedway, and now it's back to Charlotte. It's kind of funky. I understand like baseball stadiums, football stadiums, and things like that, named for a sponsor, a company sponsors the stadium. But here on racetracks, it doesn't feel right to me when a racetrack is named after a sponsor, like here at EchoPark or like Worldwide Technology. I don't know. I mean, I get it. Money's money, and it keeps the lights on and keeps the cost down for everything else. But
I'm still used to everything being called the Winston Cup. What are you talking about? Yeah, they've just long since moved away from promoting cigarettes on NASCAR.
A little bit. Back in the Jimmy Spencer and the camel car days. Great throwback paint scheme right there.
Budweiser, Miller Genuine Draft, any Smoke Cool. I mean, they were all out there at one point in time.
The good old days? Good old days when it actually meant something out here? Yeah, exactly.
Well, hopefully that's all about the change here with the rules in NASCAR. But yeah, getting ready to go. This pace car is in, and the 98 will lead them back down again, Carl.
Yep, Crispin is going to be the control car here for the restart. He's back on the loud pedal. We're racing again here at EchoPark, Atlanta, whatever you feel like calling it out here, as he gets a good restart on the inside here. Looks like the 20 is Spengler. Decent enough restart, but not enough to get down there and clear Tony Brennan, who's going to get the 65 up there, the inside. Scruffy right there behind Spengler on the outside in fourth. Douglas Ivey in fifth. Just got to get these cars wound up a little bit. Going to spread out those skittles on the track map, and hopefully it gets us some green flag racing here. But again, with this thing kind of driving like a super speedway, it's tough to spread them out. You're probably going to see a lot of 2 wide here tonight. Unfortunately, that may end up being a lot of cautions here as well. Seeing that 98 dipping down below that red and white line, it was discussed with the drivers. As Jimmy mentioned, you can't pass down there, and I'm assuming you're not going to be technically allowed to drive down there as well, do any kind of blocking or anything like that. So we'll see how the drivers fare out. But now side by side through the first 12 spots here, as leading that outside charge, Justin Spengler trying to get that Klein Tools number 28 to the front, but still being held by the 98 here of Jason Crispin.
Yeah, and I think obviously plenty of racing to go, and pit stops will need to happen. So just need to take your time, make your move when you can, but don't force anything here early on. We're all on lap 7 of 125. Jason Crispin is out front over Tony Brennan in that number 65 up 3 spots. Justin Spengler up there in third. Douglas Ivey up 5 spots in fourth. And then you got Matthew Jordan, Levi Polo, Michael Casey, Billy Rickett has moved up 10 spots. Carl up in 8th spot.
Yeah, it looks like the The caution on the last one there was charged to the 34 of Chris Perry, so he got the AOL to start this thing. Brad Worley is back out there on the track. You see him in front of the leaders right now, all by himself. He's 2 laps down right now. I'm sure he'd love to keep it in front and keep it only 2 laps down, so at least in a wave around he gets, the lucky dog, he gets one of them back, and then another lucky dog, he's right back in the mix here. But if he goes down a 3rd lap, it's just going to make that night a little bit tougher, and he's going to need more and more help to get this thing done here. But either way, it's good to see him back out there on the track, plugging away here. Single file here a little bit for the first 4 spots, as now Chrisman is leading. Chrisman is ahead of Brennan, Ivy, and Poland for your top 4 spots.
Yeah, looking good up front as they are single file there for your first 4 cars, and still battling out just a little bit. I think drivers trying to find their groove, and I think we're going to finally, we'll start seeing, cars settle down in a groove, one or the other, depending on how their tires are feeling. They might see some of those drivers from the bottom moving up to the top moving down to the bottom, but Worley up to the outside now as most of the drivers are making their way around, but is that bottom line using Worley as a pick, being a little bit slow up there. You can see looks like the 28 getting hung up, and the 23 Zane Bierman getting hung up too behind the 28. That bottom road just goes right on by for the most part, but that's all part of Albion racing. You don't want to take anybody out, and if you can't get down, you just lose a spot or two until you can race it back.
Yeah, it looks like Worley's just kind of settled into just letting this field go by. He'll pick up the back end of this field. Just gotta stay off the wall. Don't want to pick up another meatball for no reason. But you talked about settling in. There's 2 drivers not really settling in too much. That being the 7 of Billy Rickett, up from shotgun on the field. Started at 18th on the field. He's now up to 4th in the number 7. And then another one moving up big time is the one that started just in front of him, second last on the field. That is the 70 of Travis Noble, now picking up his 11th spot here on the start. He's up to 6th place. So the 7 and 70 moving through this field pretty quickly here, trying to get to the front. And you gotta wonder for the 7 of Rickett. He's kind of been the hard luck loser a lot this season. I mean, he's 5th in the standings right now, but it feels like he should be up there in the top 3 at minimum, for the speed that he's got. But no wins on the season. Seems like he gets caught up in one thing or another every single week. As looks like we do have a meatball here, 2 meatballs, as I don't see any kind of wrecks. But I see Scott Matthews and Chris Perry both with a meatball now. And are we starting to see some? Oh, as Bradley Worley just smacks the wall right there pretty hard going into turn number 1. I'm wondering if just kind of rubbing the wall here is giving some drivers some meatball. Now you see right there the 34 definitely hurt.
I've seen it. He's definitely hurt. His car's running. I didn't see anything
happen. And same thing with the 7/13 of Scott Matthews right there. He's now coming down into pits, but I didn't see any kind of incidents, at least via SDK.
No, I seen nothing. Just has some right front damage on that front one after he smacked the wall.
Which, again, I get it. Yeah, and even right here, you see it brushed up a little bit on the 34. Not enough, in my opinion, that it's like required damage. It was crazy that these. I know we say it every week. I know we're a broken record, but like a meatball flag is huge. We're gonna have another caution here. As this one involved a few of them, including Casey Spengler involved in this one as well. Oh, it looks like Bradley Worley caught up again right there. Looks like the 6 and 22 get together. The 28 gets involved. Paul Helms gonna sneak by on this one, but the 88 of Bradley Worley, wrong spot again here. And we have 3 more cars with a meatball there. Looks like Spengler. Paul, and yeah, exactly. Unfortunately for Worley, that's already going to be another fast repair with that meatball. And I mean, these drivers, I believe, only have 2. Unfortunately, with the caution out here, it won't let me click on the event rules, but I'm pretty sure they only have 2 fast repairs, and if that is the case, Bradley Worley's going to need to be clean the rest of the way, and it seems like that could be a rough task here tonight. We're only 16 laps in right now, and we're only seeing our second caution. Looks like Spengler getting a black flag for entering pit road. But yeah, I mean, that quickly we've seen what, 2, 5, 6, I think 7 meatballs already. So I guess we're averaging a meatball every other lap. So we're on pace right now for about 60 meatballs here tonight. So hope you're hungry.
I'm definitely not. I mean, I like meatball sandwiches, but I don't know if I can eat that many, Carl.
Maybe if you were I forget, Andy Farmer from Funny Farm, if it was
Lamb fries.
Yeah, lamb fries, yeah. A little throwback there to Funny Farm. Go for the meatball record here tonight, but we won't go more into details if you don't know. But
if you don't know, watch it. Chevy Chase. It's good humor. It's just an older movie, but yeah, it was definitely funny.
Well, certainly, I'm sure the 70 there of Travis Noble, maybe a little after your heart there, Jimmy, with the Tide paint scheme on there.
Definitely.
A little throwback there. Not exactly the typical Tide paint scheme you see, but certainly you see that.
It's more future. Yeah, it's more modernized, but definitely a car to watch. To kind of see the out there and still sporting after all these years. The Tide still comes around and gets placed on a lot of cars.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's just the colors of it kind of pops. The blue and the orange. No matter what you do with it, it just kind of pops with each other. But either way, we're gonna get this thing back under green, as should be getting the one to go this time by. The pace car lights are out, so it's gonna be Jason Chrisman, Douglas Ivey, Billy Rickett, Nolan Potter, and Travis Noble for your top 5. Matthew Radford, Tony Brennan, Levi Poland, Paul Helms, and Zane Bierman for your top 10. But again, just like the other 6 races that we had so far this season, meatballs aplenty so far here. You gotta avoid it. I know this isn't a super speedway, but it's gonna drive like a super speedway here tonight, and you gotta figure out a way to just get to the end to give yourself a chance. And I think one thing we haven't quite seen this season so far, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I missed it, but we talk about all these meatballs. If you get a meatball on the last lap, you can't serve it.
Nope.
And you can get the you go a lap down basically when you go across the line. It automatically gives you a penalty for that. That could certainly be a situation that we see at a track like this. I'm sure there's going to be hard racing here at the end. If somebody picks up a meatball, or maybe 2-3 cars pick up a meatball, it may take us a little bit of time to kind of figure out who actually finished where. And once iRacing finally gives us the idea of it, but we got a long way to go till we get to that point. We still got over 100 laps to go. Jason Chrisman back to the restart zone is going to get this thing fired off here one more time, as he is once again back on that loud pedal, and we're racing again here at EchoPark. The 7 of Billy Rickett trying to stay close to him and trying to go back to front here as he started shotgun on the field. He's now up to second.
Yeah, working that car a lot here early on, up 16 laps. And the only thing I'm concerned with, obviously making so many positions, Carl, how hard are they driving the cars, and are the tires taking a toll? Is it something that's going to affect him in the next few laps? But one thing I always keep forgetting, the ultimate come caution at about 20-25 laps. So I say about another 5 laps and we'll see another comp caution fly. So nobody really kind of doing anything too much right now. The only thing you don't want to be is laps down, and we do have a few laps down. Go ahead and bring up this right here, and that way you can see who's a lap down. Oh, you don't leave it on there twice, that's for sure. Yeah, you see that Scott Matthews and Chris Perry, Daniel Pinkston, Matthews in 1 lap down. Perry is 2, along with Pinkston. Worley is 6 laps down, and had to use two fast repairs. So not a good night for the 88 for sure. I'm sure he would really like a do-over, a restart, like shut down the session. Something happened to iRacing, a rainstorm, the lights went out on the track. I mean, whatever he could get, it would definitely benefit the number 88 here tonight. But the 98, is not wanting that as he is out in the front right now. Lap number 22 over Rickett, Ivy, Noble, Brennan, Potter, Poland, Bierman, Radford, and Casey for your top 10.
Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't mind if this was the night when the lights went out in Georgia, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen tonight. I know we have had a situation before where a server got so bad where the race had to be canceled, where there was whether the league redid the race later in the season or if they just considered it one less race in the season. But we have had it happen before, but we're nice and clean right now, unfortunately for Bradley Worley. But yeah, I mean, it kind of baffles me a little bit for how hard these drivers were driving in the very beginning of this race and the very start of this race, because really the first 25 laps don't mean anything other than if you want to try and get up there and lead a lap and get a bonus point. Okay, I get it. You want to make up a few positions. Okay, but to be racing that hard, knowing that you got a comp caution coming up on lap number 25, regardless, it doesn't make too much sense. As excuse me, it looks like, was that up front? I believe that was it Nolan Potter that got up into the no, it wasn't Nolan Potter. Might have been Zane Bierman. I've seen somebody up there in the outside wall, just scraping a little bit, but no.
That's Ivy. 33.
Now, that wasn't a 33. That was the Yellow Country Time machine. As we are going to get Levi Poland. That's who it was. We are going to get the comp caution here, and no meatballs here. At least, well, they haven't caught the pace car yet. So I guess maybe I shouldn't say it just yet. But either way, this is going to be our comp caution here tonight. And I'm sure we'll see the entire field come back down here. I know you got a few drivers at the back here. The last pit on lap number 16. So technically they can stay out there, but you shouldn't. You really should come in here regardless. I know tires aren't going to mean as much, with it being so grippy out here tonight, but I shouldn't have said it, Jimmy, because we got a caution, under caution. So it looks like Spengler and Perry getting into it here. We'll see what happened. Big checkup here at the back, and Matthews, looks like some net code right there with Matthews into the back of the 28, and then the 34 tries to lock it up, but gets into the back. Now, right there, Jimmy, I'm not wishing meatballs on anybody, but that was at least a direct hit on the wheel, on the back wheel there of the 28, but that wasn't a meatball. So I still don't understand the cafeteria ladies here for the series, because they just deal out meatballs for whatever they feel is right. But either way, looks like the field coming down to take for a lot of them their first pit stop here of the night, and it's Jason Crispin that leads them down into pit road.
Yeah, down on pit road they go.
Correction, Jason Crispin stayed out. I was going to say, I don't know why he's not that, but yeah, Jason Crispin stayed out. Everybody else.
Oh my goodness, we just talked about this. Yeah, you can look at the when they were come down. Crispin hasn't even been in at all.
Nope.
So yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. Yeah. Yep. Good luck. That's all I can say. All right, well, when they're going down getting fuel and tires, I need to step away for about 30 seconds, and I'll be right back.
Up caution here on lap 25. Looks like Crispin now wants to come down to the pit lane, but I think technically the pits are going to be closed here. So this could very well be a penalty for your race leader. At the very least,
We are back. We are back. We're back. We're back. You know, folks, I know everybody's out there and getting ready for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. But you know what's right around the corner is if you're not doing it now. Unfortunately, today's society has said buy Christmas at like right after Halloween. So, you know, if you don't get your chance to refreshen any of your decorations for Christmas, you're out the door. And the wife said, "Come here." I was like, "Uh-oh." But anyways, we're back on our way. It does look like Douglas Ivy is going to go ahead and lead the pack down here as we head down the front stretch here on lap number 29. So looks like the 33, 28, 97 out front with Tony Brennan, Nolan Potter, Paul Helms, Zane Bierman, Matthew Jordan, and Travis Noble with Scott Henderson for your top 10. And it does look like Chrisman did come in, so a delayed reaction, or maybe listen to the broadcast, the recommendation to come in. So we are back under green here, folks. Douglas Ivy doing a good job holding that inside line there with Justice Spengler right behind. Field is too wide. Some close battling going on, but the front two looking to maybe pull away just that little bit. We'll go back with number 98, Jason Chrisman, as he is going to have to work his way through the field. But through that battlefield, one of the treacherous zones that I love to watch drivers come up through, but it's going to be a little more challenging as obviously he doesn't have the clean air. He's going to have the dirty air. He has to worry about you know, people wrecking and that wreck avoidance if something were to happen. I'm not sure where Carl went to. Oh, hold on. I got a Discord message. Oh, never mind. Carl just lost power. So anybody up there in the Pennsylvania area where Carl's at, you might not have power. Well, we got power here in Florida, even though I had somebody show up my driveway today. Or not today, yesterday, as I was cleaning my garage, and said they're trying to sell me a new roof. And then he said there was a hailstorm here on October 26th. But we got an accident back here on the front stretch. He's banging off the wall. That was the number 70 of Travis Noble. Some major damage and no meatballs here for these two drivers, and that's the 88 and the 70. So we'll go ahead and see what happened back here, but yeah, the caution is gonna fly. They're gonna stay out. Where is? Let's see if I can figure out where this happened at. This is P13. Okay, this ain't it. I don't think. Hold on. We'll find it here, folks. As it was a battling back here. Where's Travis Noble? There he is. See exactly what happened here. SDK doesn't always catch on the money. Oh, it was like he didn't even turn left at all. Smacked the wall. 88 falls on both of them, hit the wall, but the 70 tries to keep it up there. 88 ends up hitting the 70 to steer him back up to the wall. Some massive damage. 88 taking some massive damage too. You see parts flying everywhere. Dang, folks. But it does look like Noble and Worley with meatballs, and Worley with another meatball, his third meatball. So that might be his ending incident here for the night. But Travis Noble and number 70, he did end up getting a meatball as he come in, and you can see the car instantly being repaired, and they're going to be able to keep that thing out front. But Another big one here on lap 35 of 125. And yeah, we are Carl-less tonight. So if you got anything out there you'd like to see, let me know, and we will focus on that. But we are now under caution here on lap number 35 of 125. And the Amish taking Carl's power. I'm originally from Pennsylvania too. Actually, if I was still living where I grew up, I'd probably be about an hour north of where Carl's at. And met Carl about 5 years ago now. It was in 2020. The interesting race here so far tonight, having these small incidents here, definitely playing a big part on everybody's challenge and race here tonight. And a big thing, like every Sunday, is the meatballs. You know, how many people have something left in order to get their cars repaired? We know Bradley Worley doesn't, that's for sure, and that's unfortunate. As he's had some good races in the past, but here tonight, here at EchoPark, he will not be a contender for the podiums here tonight. Had a chance early, but just continuously getting wrapped up in the incidents here, and catching those meatball flags early on is putting that 88 out of contention. Message Carl so he knows that I know he's out. I mean, I can always share my screen on Discord for Carl if he wants to watch on his phone live. So if you're out there, Carl, I got Discord up with the streaming of the race. But we're going to go back to green here on lap number 36. The pace car is in. Tony Brennan is out front in the number 65, 97 of Matthew Radford on the outside. We're going to get things going on the loud pedal as they head down into turn number 1. We're now, under only 12 laps since they had the comp caution, and already one more caution to enter. We're going to single file things out a little bit early up here up front as Tony Brennan takes that early lead going down into turn number 2. Somebody's smacking the wall in the back there. I don't think it was Pinkston. Somebody's smacking the wall pretty good. Maybe it was the 7 of Ricky. Definitely an interesting ride for some of these drivers. I think with the amount of meatballs that are going on out here, I don't think you'd find Jimmy riding that wall at all with these next gen 6. These next gen cars. Some side-by-side action in the battlefield here, though. Right behind first and second place, you can see for third. Levi Poland and Michael Casey battling out side-by-side here. And just the runs that each driver's getting is it's just nice to see that they can run around each other at least 2 wide. I think the track's wide enough for 3. Don't recommend it unless it's coming down to that win. But inside, looking like it's got the upper hand at the moment, as Mike Casey falls back from 3rd to 5th, and now battling with 5th place with the number 28 of Justin Spengler. Our in-race reporter, Paul Helms, up to number 6th in that number 64 machine. We're hoping to see Casey get a win? You know, Barry, there's been people out there that have a bounty on the number 6 tonight. Mike's always a contender each and every week, as a few of the others, but got his hands full here tonight. Doesn't seem to be the top car at the moment, but we're early on. We're only about 1/3 into this race. We're now on lap 41 of 125, and Tony Brennan is leading this thing. He's up 4 spots. Levi Poland has found his way back up into P number 2, where he began this thing in the Country Time Machine. Biggest mover of the race right now is Scott Henderson in the number 72 and P number 8. At 13, Scott Matthews kind of in the middle of the field there. He throws me off each and every week. One, because he's got the wrong number on the side of the car. And then 2, now he's a lap down, so he's not really battling for position, but he's battling for position, I think, for a lucky dog spot. Let me go back here and change this to... No. Nope, he is... where is he sitting? Scott Matthews is in 16th. Yeah, he's on the lead. He's in a lucky dog spot, so he just has to stay out of trouble. And if a caution were to come out, he'll get back in the lead lap. If I'm the 13 of Scott, I'm just chilling. Just try to stay out of trouble, and you don't have the fast car for the night and able to get around all these drivers. Yeah, just kind of hanging out, being incident free, get your lucky dog, and then get back on the lead lap. So he's had a few cautions here, but we're on a nice little green flag run right now, and Matthew Radford leading the way here in the number 97. Well, instead of a bounty, if Mike Casey doesn't win, how about we donate that money to Kids for Tots or something like that, Toys for Tots. And I think there's a Toys for Tot race coming up here shortly. It's still in the works of being put together, but it's going to be on December 6th. It's going to be an 80-lap race with the Gen 4s at Michigan. $50 will go to the winner, and the rest will be donated to Toys for Tots. It's always good to give to somebody this time of year. I mean, it's all about taking care of each other out there. Scott Henderson still in the move right now. Now to P number 8. To the 55 of Zane Bierman. Looking at that high side. Bradley Worley's finally getting back out there. And that number 88, unfortunate to not have a fast repair to get that machine up to prime speed, but got to get back out there, get some laps in there, and if he feels comfortable, continuing to stay out there, because you never know when something's going to happen. Just like there, you see Levi Poland going to the extreme high line, looking to take the lead. Gets around Brennan just temporarily, but Brennan has the inside to his advantage and able to squeak just ahead just a little bit as they work their way down the backstretch. Some shifting around back there. Some wreck avoidance from Scruffy going down to the inside, down on the apron to kind of let drivers go by. But it looks like Levi Poland and Brennan are going to continue to battle here. Do have Mike Casey on the outside with Levi Poland, maybe working together. The points battle can, close enough that I guess if you want to keep your friends closer and your enemies even closer. Matthew Rappert up 7 spots as well right now on that number 97, as he had was in the lead temporarily. Well, now on lap number 51 of 125, and Daniel Pinkston is sitting there in 10th right now in the Orioles machine. Good run going so far for these drivers here, all the way back to the 72, top 9, starting to pull away just a little bit from Daniel Pinkston there and P number 10, and he has a group of his own with Nolan Potter and Billy Rickett as they have kind of settled in, kind of single file here at EchoPark, you know, looking to reach that halfway mark now, probably starting to think about that green flag pit stop. When should we come in? And I mentioned it earlier, and you know, most tracks you come in just as you come off of turn number 4. This track here, pit entry is actually at the entrance of turn number 3, so you get all that speed going down a straightaway. Got to come down below the white and red line there, down below the apron, and go around a corner, which is can be a little tricky. And if you don't slow down enough, you could find yourself a backup on the track and get yourself an unsafe pit entry. So you got to be very careful here and make sure you bingo that and keep that speed. But you're gonna go a lap down here, that's for sure, when it happens. So it's all about who wants to stay and in, and who wants to go out and win. So we're gonna find that out right now. They were in, let's see, pit lap. They were in lap 26. Spengler was in on lap 34, along with Jordan Noble and a few others. So it's going to be interesting to see who actually stays out there. Zane Bierman leading the third little group here with Matthew Jordan and Travis. Well, Travis Noble's behind a little bit. That's a lap car in there. That's the 13 of Scott Matthews. So we'll go back up front here where they are 2 by 2. The leaders, this is pretty much the battlefield. Everybody outside of the front, front few drivers here is out of the battlefield here tonight. The battlefield is in the front. The drivers are side by side. It looks like Michael Casey squeaking that nose just by the 97 to get the lead there. Now have the 91 of Levi Poland trying to help the 6 make their way around, but Mike Casey's going to clear the 97 and be clearly in the lead here on lap number 58. Some good racing up here, folks. This is the best they've had so far. Nice clean green flag run here since lap number 34. Now it's just to see who's going to come in and win. You'll start noticing people when they want to come in to the pits, as they, like, especially if they're on the outside. We did Daytona last week for a couple leagues, and they'd be running too wide for quite a while. Then all of a sudden you just see them all single file. Like, yep, it's pit time. What's good about these? Oh, no, 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 no. Here goes the 98. Oh, good save. Woo. That was close. See if we get a, right here. Watch this. The number 98. Oh, Jason Crispin saved this thing. 33 there of Douglas Ivy and the 98 getting together. Some net code, the 28 bumping the 33. 98 sideways. And this is here is all obviously still green. Wow, what a catch. Definitely some damage on that 98 though, for sure. But no meatball. Take away power or Carl's power, and look at the league has no meatballs. Good run here as we closing in up on this halfway mark. This time by, I think we're over. We'll be over the halfway mark this lap. We're at the halfway mark right now is Matthew Radford, number 97, with Tony Brennan in P number 2 and Michael Casey in 3rd. Billy Rickett, your biggest mover, currently up in 4th place. 14 spots. Drivers jockeying around for position here. 98 still running with these guys really well though. Okay. We'll hop down into some of the cockpits and see how the drivers are handling this nice smooth track. Go back with Levi Poland currently starred in P number 2, sitting in 6th. But you can see how nice and easy, smooth, no jumping around very much. Cars seem pretty well planted here tonight. You can see down in this quad oval area. We'll hop on board with Matthew Radford. He's out in the front. Right now he's working around around turn number 2. This is the back stretch. And you're gonna see once they enter 3, right actually where that green arrow is there on your left, that is pit road. Down there on the left-hand side. That's when where they're gonna be coming in. They'll have to come around all this whole corner down there to make the enter. But you can see right here as I come down across the front stretch how inviting it is to go beneath that red and white line there, as there's lots of room down there. And obviously they made it real clear during their briefing and stuff to keep it up on the raceway there, not on the apron for racing. See who else we got out there. We got Renee out there, so we'll go back with Scott, as Scott has moved back into 14th, so fell back just a little bit. Still in the lead lap though. We have 15 cars in the lead lap. Now, if I'm Scott, looking up ahead, like back here, they're not very well put together. They're still trying to make passes here, but I mean, plenty of racing still remaining here. Got about 55 laps remaining as we're on lap 71 of 125. You know, there's got to be pit stops, but there's got to be a time as you know, when you're a little farther back in the field, where you got to kind of just kind of work together in order to catch some of the another pack. As you can see, they're out now single file. So as soon as they, you know, clean up and they kind of work together and stop trying to pass each other, they'll be a little quicker, and they might be able to reach that front pack, or at least the pack in front of them. We'll go up here with Daniel Pinkston. See, there he is. Douglas Ivey now back in ninth. So if you just look back, you can see how far back the other group is, and you know that group needs to kind of stay together in order to catch up to this lead pack. But right now it is Tony Brennan out front in number 65 over Billy Rickett, Michael Casey, Justin Spengler, and Matthew Radford for your top 5. Well, that was close. The drivers up front continue to swap around, but Tony Brennan is still your leader. Billy Rickett at the spot to try to go from shotgun on the field to the front. Only one more spot to go with Michael Casey trailing there in P number 3. Then back in battle for 4th, got the 28 of Justin Spengler just taking over that spot with the 91 of Levi Poland below. Nolan Potter is in there as well in the Klondike machine. And Matthew Radford, Douglas Ivey, and Jason Crispin all battling up there for your top 9. And these drivers are starting to pull away. You can look on your screen there. You got a nice, hefty little lead over the next pack there. Zane Bierman is leading. You can see Paul Helms. He just tagged the wall just a little bit. No meatball flag, so that's a good sign. But these drivers still out there. They were in on lap number 26 and already on lap 76. So 50 laps on a tank. So I'm going to be guessing that possibly somebody is thinking about maybe wanting to come in, as if they can make it the rest of the way. But you know, as soon as you come in, you can go a lap down, and if a caution comes out, you might be stuck, depending on what people's decisions are. Oh, there's your first taker. Zane Bierman. Gonna come in. Douglas Ivey as well. A few drivers coming in already. Plenty of time to get them cars slowed down because of the entrance corner. That's gonna leave Billy Rickett up front there. I wonder if they're reminding each other to breathe up here. Running side by side so close. Oh. Whoa, no. That was close. 99 and 65 almost got into it. We're able to catch it. They're on lap number 80. I see Scott Henderson is in for his pit stop. And he is down and out. Go ahead and pull the tower up there. Pinkston with a meatball. What? Where did you get that? I wonder if he hit the wall. Tough a break there for Daniel Pinkston and number 22. Oreo Machine. Grabbed himself a meatball there, but coming down the pits, hopefully he has a fast repair. And he does, and he'll get that removed. I guess in lieu of timing. I mean, if you're going to get a meatball right before you pay it, it's probably a good time to get it. But Billy Rickett taking no surrenders here tonight. Was in on lap number 34. Going to stay out. He is down below that yellow line. This pack here is going to come down. So Billy Rickett's in. Michael Casey's in. Spengler's in. The 91 of Poland's in. 99. Nolan's in. Chrisman's in. And the 97 of Radford's in. So everybody coming down the pit. So be careful. Oh no, the 91 and 99 getting an incident at the end of the pit road. 91 goes around. 99 in the wall. Disaster for those two drivers. Tony Brennan still out there. He puts the whole field a lap down. Poland is going to end up with a black flag, so there's going to end up being a longer pit stop for Poland. That was almost a gift from to Brennan. If a caution would have came out right there in that and the pit lane pit lane. Paul Helms is in. Travis Noble staying out as well. Right now, Travis Noble up 15 spots. So, you know, obviously taking the chance here, rolling the dice. Go back. I think Billy Rickett is back out front of the pack. So when Tony does decide to come in, everybody else decides to as well. This is where things should land here with Billy Rickett and Mike Casey still battling out. But right now they're back in 4th and 5th, and they're a lot down right now, folks. Tony Brennan down below the red and white line, needs to bingo this stop so he can get a great stop in here as the field is working their way down the backstretch here. He's still in the corner here, needs to come down nice and smooth, but as quickly as possibly can. Hit them yellow the yellow cones. Not seeing any black flag come up, so should have hit that just right. I have the field getting back on track here right now. A very, very long pit road entrance. 65 finally gets to their stall, get the driver, get the pit crew out there, tires up, fuel in. Where will he come out? Travis Noble is in the lead as he was in on lap number 34. But he is going to come down below the red and white line down into the pit lane entrance here. Lap number 8. Oh no, Bierman's got a meatball. See what happened to Bierman. Oh, just like that. Broke the front linkage on the right front on number 55. Tough break there for the 55. Billy Rickett is now your leader. up 17 spots over Jason Christman. Sitting there in P, number 2, number 97, Matthew Bradford's in 3rd. Douglas Ivy finds himself in 4th. Zane Bierman's in 5th. Currently until... I thought he had a meatball. Okay. All right, iRacing. Justice Spangler's in there in 6th. Michael Casey's in 7th. Nolan Potter's in 8th. Matthew Jordan's in 9th. And Tony Brennan back there in 10th. Tony's going to have some work to do as the other drivers were able to get out there and undercut him just a little bit. We have 35 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Been a pretty good one here tonight after we got out of those initial cautions in the beginning of the race. It's been nothing but green flag running here. But we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of love to hear it before we end this race. So we're going to take a short break, let these cars rip around here, listen to the sights and sounds of the Gen 6 car here at EchoPark. Sights and sounds here at EchoPark. The rumbles echoing in the flatlands of Georgia, but up front, the 98 and the 7 are battling out here for the lead. And it does look like we're going to have a crash here with Chris Perry. I don't see anything, no caution out as of yet. It does look like he's going to get towed off the into the pits quickly before a caution were to fly. So we're on lap now 99, crossing the line here for lap 100. And your leader is Jason Crispin back out front over Billy Rickett, Matthew Radford, Michael Casey, Justin Spengler for your top 5. We'll take a look back here what happened to Chris Perry. Let's see if we can we'll back it up here just a little bit as the 34 went for a ride. Oh, and we were talking about it down the oh, he's just down on that apron, I think, trying to let people go by. Just rough down there. Oh, blew an engine. Not good for the number 34. But back up front, Jason Crispin and out using that number 91 there, kind of like a pick, holding up Billy Rickett. The 91 back in Levi Poland, NP number 13. You can see as I pull up the other tower, you can see Levi Poland 1 lap down, so trying to battle for that lucky dog spot. He's trying to stay at least 1 lap down and not 2, because right now with Jason Crispin will put him 2 laps down, makes things a little bit more difficult to get back on the lead lap if a caution were to happen. So he's at that brink right now, so just kind of using the field to hopefully catch up to Travis Noble, which is the number 70. You see back here, they're, I think, not too far. Where are they at? Oh, they're about halfway around the track. But you see Travis Noble down on the apron there, coming in, I think, this time? Question mark? Oh. He's going to tow into the pits. Huh. Not sure for what, but 70 is now in the pits there as they came to a stop and came in. The 91 holding off the leaders as they're trying to make their way by, and maybe now with the lucky dog position. Well, no, I mean, now you still want to be, if you're Levi Poland, you still want to, even though you're in the lucky dog spot, if you can stay in front of the leader, you only have 1 lap, so you get that lap back. Now he's 2 laps down, so you need 2 cautions. So there's a lot to battle there for the 91 if he can get back up front. But Jason Crispin does not want to wait around any longer. He is now out front of the number 91 of Levi Poland, and with Matthew Radford got around him as well. So you have those first and second out front, then a lap car, and then Mike Casey back in Pete, number 3, working their way around. Douglas Ivy, nice solid in the 4th place currently right now, with Justin Spengler hanging on to Pete, number 5. And then it's back a little ways to Zane Bierman. He's back 7 seconds from the field. Then you got Matthew Jordan and Nolan Potter battling it out for Pete, number 7. Tony Brennan is back there in 9th. Paul Helms, our in-race reporter, currently sitting in 10th. Billy Rickett was up front there for a while, but now finds himself back here in 11th. Looks like he's going to come down in the pits. Maybe some front end damage there to that car as the leaders go by. So Billy Rickett continuing to have some bad luck as these races go on throughout the season so far here tonight. No, but right now we'll go back up with the leaders. Jason Crispin doing a heck of a job here tonight as he leads the field as they head down into turn number 3. 18 laps to go. You got to see have number 64 up in front of them right now. They're 3 wide coming down across the start-finish line. It's like we have not seen too much tonight, but doesn't last for long. But they're going to go 3 wide here into the corner. Ooh, Hold on over there. Okay, we're able to get by the 64. 91 working their hardest to try to get back to only 1 lap down. And, you know, we know the 91 has the speed out there and could possibly get there. But, you know, can he get out there and keep it? And that's the question that he's trying to answer and trying to get out there. There'll be a point where you'll probably see the 91 just kind of let up as he knows that he's not going to be able to get that opportunity to get back on the lead lap. So he'll probably just fall back just a little bit. But yeah, 98, the 6th, 28, battling nose to tail. It's you know, it's been somebody different each and every week. These drivers continue to have success here. You know, sometimes the cautions are a little early on, sometimes maybe a little bit later. But right now, we're still green. We've got 15 laps to go of this 125 lap race. Jason Crispin is out front over Michael Casey. Justin Spangler. Matthew Radford sits in 4th. Douglas Ives in 5th. Zane Bierman is sitting in 6th. Matthew Jordan in 7th. Nolan Potter in 8th. Tony Brennan is in 9th. And Paul Helms is your first car 1 lap down in 10th. Then it's Levi Poland, Billy Rickett, Scott Henderson in 13th, and Scott Matthews in 14th. Travis Noble finds himself in 15th. Then you have Daniel Pinkston, Chris Perry, and Bradley Worley for your 18 car drivers that are out there. But your top 5 is where it's at right now, ladies and gentlemen, as the battle for the end of the race here. You see Mike Casey trying to go to the high side, trying to figure a way to get around some of these drivers. That allows the number 28 of Justin Spangler to move into P number 2. And looking to maybe get around the 98. These cars have been battling all evening up here, trying to make things work. There's 5 cars up here, 4 that are on the lead lap. The 91 been fast all night, so has no problem being up there, but definitely trying to get around to maybe possibly get in that lead lap. But like I said, it's a fine line. You know, when you know that you're a lap car, and you know you just gotta know when to make your move. But Levi's been doing very well at giving space to everybody up there, but running extremely fast laps, so able to just kind of hang in there. 98 Jason Crispin, I think maybe using the 91 to his advantage at certain points to kind of hold people up. But yeah, the 98 out there, Michael Casey used that outside, and now getting a push from the 91. Just barely clears the number 97. We'll hop on board with the number 97. You can see that a lot of the drivers using the 91 to their advantage, whether it's to get around one of their competitors. You've seen the 97 used the 91. Oh, taps Michael Casey, but keeps a hold of it. Woo! That was kind of impressive, to be honest. Right now, I think with 9 laps to go, I think we're looking at... Oh! That Paul Helms, I think he smacked the wall a little bit. Oh! Woo! Levi Poland driving the wheels off that number 91 here, staying, keeping that thing straight as a 28 and a 91. Almost getting together there. But look at the top 4 as they're battling out here, so close together. 8 laps to go here at EchoPark. Who do you got? Write it in the chat. I don't do the polls very often, so that's usually what Carl does. But it does look like we're going to have the number 98, the 6, the 28, and the 97 in it for the run here tonight. Gonna hop on board there with the number 91 of Levi Pullen, as he's got a bird's eye view there of the battle in front of him here for the top 4. Oh, 97-6. That was close. Riding on board with number 91 of Levi Pullen. He is actually fighting for position with Paul Helms, that is on his inside. The number 64. Tony Brennan in the pits. What's going on? Did he even out of fuel? Brennan in the pit's going to give up a few positions here. It's going to allow a few drivers to move up even farther. Biggest mover of the race currently is Matthew Radford in that second spot, up 8 spots for the night. Four laps to go here at EchoPark. Yeah, Barry, we know you got you're on the you'd like Mike to win here tonight, and he's trying. I think he's got everything he's got. He's got to find his way around number 97 and 98. As they got him locked back there in P number 3, and then Justin Spangler sitting in third place. Or excuse me, fourth place. Would love to get himself a podium here tonight. I think it's been a little while since we talked to the 28. 28 is going to go to the high side, and I don't know if he's going to get any help from the lap cars, and he might. Yeah, he does. He gets a little bit of help there from the 91 of Levi Pullen. He's going to push the number 28 up the to the top side there and get that momentum and run down that front stretch. I don't know if it's quite enough, barely enough to, I think, to take the that spot there as they cross the start finish line. But Mike Casey knows it's go time. There's 2 laps to go. Radford's out front. Jason Christmas in second. Michael Casey is in third. Justin Spangler's in fourth. These are your 4 drivers battling out for the win. You got the 91 battling out there with the 94 or the 64 of Paul Helms, as they are battling for 9th and 10th. So the battle is not over there. Those 2 drivers will be battling just like these top 4 were. But it does look like the 91 has let up. Paul Helms is going to get by and take over 9th place. It is the 98 here. Jason Christman on the final lap. They are down the backstretch, down through turns number 3, working through 4. Can Casey edge out the number 28? Will the 28 get it? Oh! And it looks like Justin Spangler's going to reach there. Beat out Michael Casey for a 3rd place. The 98 of Jason Christman will finish in 1st. Matthew Radford comes in 2nd. Justin Spangler edging out Michael Casey for a P number 3. Kicked Casey off the podium here tonight. What a finish. Started off bumpy, but the race came all together here at the end, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely it was a good one here. Some meatballs were flying early. I guess it was around dinner time, so that's why they came out. Lost Carl laps ago, but definitely reach out. It's a good thing to. It's a good thing, I guess, but. We'll get Carl back in here next week, I'm sure, but we'll get a chance to talk to these top 3 here. This is number 98 of Jason Christman celebrates here tonight. We'll go ahead and empty out the overlays here for everybody. We'll pull up the final results. Yeah, it's been a good one here, obviously, and we'll go down and show these results real quick here. And you can see Jason Christman, the winner, with by 0.142 over Matthew Radford, and then Justin Spangler and Mike Casey just battling out so close there. But those those two drivers are your top four. Fifth place goes to Douglas Ivy. Sixth place is Matthew Jordan. Seventh is Nolan Potter, and Zane Bierman finishes in eighth. Paul Helms will finish in ninth. Levi Poland with a top 10, and then Tony Brennan in 11th. Billy Rickett finishes in 12th. Scott Henderson in 13th. Scott Matthews in 14th. Travis Noble there in 15th. Daniel Pinkston, Chris Perry, and Bradley Worley. And obviously, always a shout out to our steward up in the booth, calling the field and throwing the flags. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I gotta do this part. This is what Carl usually does. I gotta go over to Discord and see if those drivers are ready. See here, waiting room. Here we go. We got two of the three down there. Just waiting for Matthew Radford to show up. So Matt, if you're out there, go down in the waiting room. So we'll be starting these interviews here shortly. Let me set up this here quick. Stop this. And then I'll click on Matt. Let's see this one. There we go. Bring up his name. All right. So it does look like, let's see, where's he at? Where'd he go? Justin Spengler is down in the waiting room right now, so we're going to go ahead and move him up here. And our third place finisher here tonight is going to be the number 28 of Justin Spengler. Justin, it's Jimmy up in the booth. You copy, buddy? A little bit different from last week. I mean, you had the, your battle up here for, a possible win, and maybe didn't get a win, but probably the closest finish between a set of drivers out there between you and Michael Casey. It was down to that last corner. It was like inches. Like he had you, you had him. He had you, you had him, and at the end, you crossed the line there in P number 3, man. So, first, I want to say congratulations, but second, get a rundown of just like how everything was out there for you. And we know everything kind of started off a little rough. Yeah, it's definitely probably the one of the most satisfying things to kind of go out there and race your friends, your league mates, side by side. You mentioned the lap cars, and as much as like you wish they were kind of not there, they were in the same sort of battle, just obviously a few positions back. So it's kind of hard to fault them for running as hard as they were and not just letting people go. And it does mix things up, though. I've seen people using them kind of like as a pick here and there, like maybe to hold people back. So a lot of challenging decisions to make out there as a driver, and you guys did a fantastic job there at the end to wrap this thing up. So I really do want to say congratulations on the hard-fought, great run there at the end and the finish of a third place, but also give you a little bit of time for any shouts they might have in at number 28. Well, it's always a good part to have those types of shout outs out there, Justin. And, it's always great to have, again, the community and the drivers like yourself to, you keep people in memory and to do things, like you said, ride it out to the end, and you never know what's going to happen. So, again, congratulations on that third place, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family. Yes, sir. That was your third place finisher, Justin Spangler, finishing here tonight. In that number 28 car. But we're going to move on to Matthew Radford in that number 97. He's down in the waiting room. We're going to bring him up here. Matt, Jimmy up in the booth. Do you copy? Hey, well, congratulations there, and a hard-fought P number 2 here, as the beginning of the race was actually kind of interesting, as it was kind of plagued with a few cautions, but you find yourself up there battling for the lead here with the pulsator of Jason Crispin, and he just edges you out there to kind of so you can get that second place. Give us a rundown of your race tonight, buddy. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit easier up front, and I call that that area that you talk about, the middle, as the battlefield, as it can tend to be the hardest racing on the track. Whether it's a fast guy that had some early troubles, or you got a newer driver that might be running very well, or just somebody just kind of that's their average spot and that's where they're hanging out. But it definitely is one of the areas I look for some of the best racing in there. And when you got to come up through there, it can be very challenging, but you were able to do that here tonight. You overcome the cautions. And able to get that number 97 up there to P number 2. So obviously up here and see it from CRN and everybody else out there watching, we want to say congratulations and give you a time for any shouts you might have in that number 97.
The race and having me return and getting a P2. So, yeah. And everybody watching.
Yeah, everybody out I was watching our just gave me a chat saying, "Hey, you can't hear the drivers." I put Mike Carl on mute because he got his power disconnected. So apologize for Justin, as he had put a guy gave a shout out to everybody out there, all his loved ones and whatnot, for his third place. And obviously, you guys caught the tail end here, Matt Rafford's finish. But yeah, again, congratulations, Matt, on your second place finish. Hope to see you up here. Do you guys have next week off? I don't even know. I'm just so in a focus here lately.
It's sorry, I didn't even know what time the race started tonight. So
I know it's it's 5 o'clock Central Time is when the session goes live, and then you guys get 30 minutes of practice. So at 5:20 Central is when I usually start the stream, so that the viewers out there can tune in a little bit, and I always see some pre-race chatter, and then I go live right around. Usually you guys start qualifying, but yeah, each and every Sunday. But if we don't get a chance to see you next week, I hopefully you have a great Thanksgiving. And again, thanks for all the shouts and whatnot, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Matt. And that's your second place finisher, Matthew Radford, on the number 97. Getting it done here tonight in P number 2. So again, sorry for the confusion there with the drivers, but we're going to grab your winner here tonight, Jason Crispin. Jason, it's Jimmy up in the booth. You copy?
I got you. You got me.
Hey, welcome to the booth, man. You start from the pole, you go to the back, you have some issues. I seen you like drifting around the track, sliding against the wall. Like, wow, what a crazy night for the number 98. Give us a rundown.
Well, it started out. This is my first ever time at this track, this track in this car. I've been here before, but obviously in Xfinity Next Gen. But the track was really wicked out there. I will say that. Everybody was struggling for grip. About 20 laps into the run, you'd see people kind of spreading out more, just because it was just hard for us to keep our cars going straight. First off, the whole thing where I had to go to the back was I forgot that pit entry was at the entry of turn 3. So I had to take the whole lap around, come back in, and it put me in the back. But after that, it was just a race of, I wasn't trying to push my car too hard, just trying to save my stuff for the end. And that final pit stop, we got a really good stop, me and Matthew behind us, and we were able to come back up to the front. And after that, it was just hold on to her and don't waste your stuff away.
Yeah, it's a little bit different here with these 1.5 miles that run like a super speedway. How important were your tires towards the end?
The first run, I really wore out my tires. The first 25 lapper, I was just trying to stick straight to the bottom, trying to just gas it through every corner, but quickly figured out you have to let off, you have to let your tires settle in. And it was really a huge tire management thing, because there were some runs where you'd see cars just drop from the front to the back after they used their tires, and a lot of comers and goers through the whole race, which was really fun. So I had to manage different people at different times.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those tracks where it's as smooth and as fast as super speedway, but that tire wear can really catch you blindly, with being out there, all that wear and tear, the more, because you're turning more often and really heating them up. Cooler weather, I'm sure, helped just a little bit here tonight, but either way, you managed it perfectly. You got the pole, you got the win, maxing out all the points here tonight. So hopefully that does you good here for your points chase for the championship for the season. But from CRN and everybody else out there, we want to say congratulations and give you some time for any shouts that you have on that number 98.
Yeah, thank you guys again. It's been a little bit since I've been in victory lane here, but it was just an awesome race overall. Everybody put together a great show. I hope it was just as fun to watch as it was driving it. So much fun holding those cars down. But thank you guys again for the broadcast. Thank you to everybody in the league. My girlfriend sat over my shoulder and watched the last 5 laps. She's awesome, super supportive, and looking forward to next week, honestly. Just hoping maybe we can make it 2 in a row, get a little momentum going.
Yeah, it's always good to get a little momentum going, especially into some of the holiday weeks, as you'll catch a week off here, a week off there. I even lose track of time. I'm working so much. I think you guys race next week. I think this is the beginning of the week for the Thanksgiving week. And if not, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving with you and your family. But either way, if not, we'll be here. And thanks for all the kind words and the shout outs. And we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great night.
Yes, sir. That's your winner here, the number 98 of Jason Chrisman in that cherry vanilla Coke machine, number 98. So getting a win here tonight with the 191 Motorsports at EchoPark. I did miss Carl out there tonight as he lost power, but hey, things happen. We keep going, and I guess if I would have lost power, Carl would have had to fire up his computer and start an actual broadcast and pick things up where we left off. Would have been a little more interesting for him, I'm sure, but we're here. We'll be here next week if everybody is here. Let me check the schedule since everybody is here. I believe this, where the heck's the schedule? Point standings schedule. Here, let's just double check this. We're at New Atlanta. Yeah, 11:23. So yes, we will be here next week, and we will be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for 75 laps. So we'll be here next Sunday night. So we look forward to seeing everybody else out there. Hopefully Carl will have his power fixed. Tell the Amish to turn his power back on. But thanks for everybody for showing up. Thanks for all the drivers for putting on a great show. And for me and Carl, until next time, we'll see you in the track.